This particular activity is a getting to know you activity and requires absolutely no materials whatsoever. Basically what I do is I have students stand in a circle, whether it's a class of 5 or a class of 30, and we go around and introduce ourselves by giving our name and some basic information like where we live, what our favorite hobbies are and sports, and some random fact about ourselves that we would like the rest of the class to know. Then, once we've done this around in a circle, I usually introduce a ball or a hacky sack, and I toss the hacky sack to a student, and I say their name. And this usually helps me try to memorize the names of my students. I think it's very important for everybody, every teacher on the planet, to try their best to memorize the names of their students, because it personalizes the learning and it allows the students to feel more connected and bonded with their teacher. And it also kind of gives you more respect as a teacher from the student. So I do encourage all of you teachers out there to memorize names when you can. So once I've tossed the ball to the first student, I instruct that student to toss the ball or the hacky sack to another student, and to make sure that they say the name of that student before they toss the ball or the hacky sack. This helps me to also memorize the names of the other students that will be in the circle. So we go around and we do this activity for a couple of minutes, maybe about 2 or 3 minutes, and then that usually commences the first part of this getting to know you activity. If you have the resources like a paper and pens or pencils, you can also have students draw a picture of themselves or draw hobbies that they like and put their name in big letters on the paper, so that way it gives you, the teacher, some sort of extra stimulus to help you memorize the names of your students. So it's another kind of reinforcement activity you can provide on top of the circle game that you will have hopefully executed successfully. So these are 2 activities you can do for getting to know your students. Another option is to have the students introduce each other in the circle. Going back to the first activity, you can have the students practice talking in the second and third person if you're dealing with English as a second language students or English as a foreign language students. Or you could just have students try to remember the facts that they remember from the other students. So it's kind of a good way of helping students practice memorizing and practice listening. So these are really wonderful activities that you can give to your students to get to know them better as a kind of a nice opener for a hopefully wonderfully prosperous semester of learning. Bye for now.